The devil doesn't discriminate between young and old. Many of the teenagers had the courage to commit the crime but lacked the strength to deal with the fallout. They would scream, collapse, and perhaps faint in the courtroom. On the other hand, killing another person is not a big deal to some. You may witness that rather than waiting intensely for the judgment. They seem to be daydreaming away while the court decides their fate. As the decision is announced, they are truly smiling. What do you think goes through a teenager's mind when they hear they will never experience life outside of prison walls? What psychological effects does it have on them? Were they psychologically sound to begin with? Watch the unfiltered responses of 5 teenagers given a life sentence. Number 1. This is Shondell Jackson. He appears at the Milwaukee County Courthouse after being found guilty of killing a college student. Jackson, who is 18 years old, apparently went looking for victims with a companion. They spotted Nathan Potter exiting a bar. The victim is a 21-year-old student at the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. They approached him and demanded money while stalking him. Jackson killed Potter by shooting him after learning that he had no money. You may see Jackson making gestures towards the victim's family during his trial, and you can see him grinning at the family as he is led out of the courthouse. Jackson had an outburst as the judge revealed that Jackson would be sentenced to life in prison without the chance of parole. Number 2. This is Jennifer Mee. When Jennifer Mee was detained on suspicion of first-degree murder, she was 19 years old. She had earlier caught the public's attention because of her uncontrollable hiccups. She was initially referred to as the Hiccup Girl. Mee was charged with planning a robbery with targets she had met online. According to reports, she had at the time recruited Lamont Newton, her lover, and another pal, LaRon Rayford, to aid robbery targets. Mee and a 22-year-old man she met in person after speaking online were brought to a deserted house by her 2 buddies, who then robbed and shot the victim, killing him. They received $50 for the murder and robbery. John Trevina, her attorney, asserted that there was insufficient evidence to condemn her and that his client did not plan the crime. Prosecutors claimed that Mee had set everything up, and they used police interviews and a recorded call between Mee and her mother as proof. Mee was convicted of first-degree murder and given a life sentence without the possibility of release. Number 3. This is Dylan Shoemaker. As his girlfriend left for work that evening, the 16-year-old Shoemaker watched the child while she was away. Later that night, Shoemaker beat the 23-month-old child, and as a result of his injuries, the little youngster passed away. Shoemaker was reportedly trying to get the boy to stop crying, but never intended to hurt him or make him die. However, the jury rejected it, and the Shoemaker was found guilty of second-degree murder. Keep a tight eye on Shoemaker as he enters the courtroom. He breaks down in tears and apologizes to everyone. Listen to what he and his mother were saying on the phone. The jury will undoubtedly feel sorry for me if I cry in front of them because I'm only a 16-year-old. He was wrong. He received the maximum punishment. Number 4. This is TJ Lane. He was found guilty of killing 3 of his high school classmates without any guilt. At Chardon High School in Chardon, Ohio, 3 of the 6 students who were shot died as a result. Lane, a 17-year-old male juvenile and former student of Chardon High, was the suspect. You'll see that he starts unbuttoning his shirt as soon as he enters the courtroom. Despite his attorney's advice, TJ keeps taking the buttons off his shirt. Take a look at the t-shirt. You can see the word killer on it. Lane confessed to his crime and provided no justification. He was sentenced to 3 consecutive life sentences without the possibility of parole. Number 5. This is Jacob Morgan. Jacob killed his own brother, Joshua Alexander, in the process of setting his home on fire. He was then accused of murdering his sibling. He regrets his reckless decision. He begins to sob and pray as the judge pronounces the verdict, but the judge didn't show much compassion, giving Jacob a hard lesson in reality by giving him a life sentence. As he realizes what is occurring, you can see the fear on his face and hear the anguish in his voice. This is a warning against playing with fire. For some cold-blooded killers, a lifelong punishment behind bars doesn't bother them one bit either. The fear, shock, and despair they felt at the thought of spending the rest of their lives behind bars were apparent for some. That's a wrap. For more videos, don't forget to subscribe and click the bell button. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in our next video.